What's good, y'all? We back. Welcome back to part 2 of our Infinity Wars
hype challenge,
prediction, discussion, podcast, all that.
We're making bets. He's gonna pay me. I just came up with that.
I mean,
that's
why
he's laughing right now.
I love making bets.
Up with that.
I'm gonna win though. But nah, we just thought last time we talked about the Infinity Stones, what they were, where they are, the implications for how Thanos might come into possession of these stones in Infinity War. So in this part, we're basically going to be talking about the key characters, where everybody's at after the divide in Civil War, how people are going to possibly move forward, and our predictions on possible deaths, who survives, who allies with who.
Guys,
we're going to get into all that.
Thor only has one eyeball.
And no hammer.
Okay, and he has no hammer.
None.
He's like this right now. And Cap's got a beard. What the hell is going on?
It's getting weird.
We can't have emo Cap. This is not the time. This is not the time.
Cap's always kind
Cap
of
looks like he's about to like brew me some like IPA and like take me through his herb garden in his kitchen.
Cap looks like he's had it rough and he's about to just start murdering people.
I don't know.
Forget his morals. He's about to just start capping off.
Sorry, Kuma gets upset when we talk too much about Cap.
This is our super dog.
It's alright.
We love her.
It's okay. We're not saying anything bad. It's okay.
But nah, getting right into it. Did you want to just go down? I can just go down the list of people who I know where they are.
All right. Well, let me set this up, and then I'll let you roll. So the setup for me, what I want to present to everyone and have you thinking about while we're talking about all this is that the beginning of Infinity War takes place. I'm sorry.
She wants to be part of this.
Yes.
So bad.
The beginning of it, she's a lot of points on Infinity War. She wants to get in here. But the beginning of Infinity War takes place 2 years after Civil War. So we love Civil War because it pitted our characters against each other on essentially a political and a personally deeply affecting issue, and that issue was the Superhero Registration Act. So Tony and Cap are respective leaders of each side. Tony believed that it was best to register superheroes.
Team Cap, one time and only time. I'm Team Cap.
Agreed.
We don't register.
I think I agree. I think it would depend on who I am, because I could see myself as a Spider-Man, and I won't keep mentioning.
I don't count him though. He's only on Tony's side because Tony gave him his suit.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. In the films, he's definitely just like Tony's mentee.
Yeah. But
sorry, I can get off topic on this stuff all day. But yeah, so Tony was for registration. Cap was against registration because even though Cap was like pretty much, he didn't have an alter ego because he kind of reawoke as Captain America. That's what he was.
Yeah.
Even though he didn't have a secret identity, he believed in respecting the lives and personal lives of the other heroes that did want to protect their secret identity and their loved ones and etc. So just to give a brief rundown of the who's against each other, who's the two sides that we're facing. We've got on Cap's side, we got Falcon. Of course, Falcon's on Cap's side. And just for you guys, just for anyone who forgot about Falcon, Falcon was played by Anthony Mackie in the movies, and
he's introduced in Winter Soldier, right?
Yeah, Falcon is like, he basically has like a jetpack, and he's like a cool
with wings,
fast talking black guy with a jetpack. So he's kind of set up as Cap's like right hand guy, while Bucky's doing his dark
deeds,
his dark arc. While Bucky's in his dark arc. So yeah, you on Cap's side, you have Falcon, Bucky, you got Hawkeye, you have Ant-Man. And you have Scarlet Witch. Hawkeye, of course. I don't know. I'm not going to mention Hawkeye too much because we haven't seen him in any trailers, so we probably won't see him in this movie. But, of course, we saw in Civil War.
I think he might die, but I'll get into that.
Was it Civil War? Civil War is the last one, right?
Yeah.
In Civil War, we saw that he had he's got a family to protect. That's all he wants to really do. Yeah. Ant-Man, of course, has a daughter.
And he doesn't have any power, so he's practically useless anyway.
Don't hate on his bow! Yo, if I didn't love Green Arrow so much, I probably would have no love for Hawkeye at all.
He would be fine as a DC character. But in this world of
he's not even rich. Like, Green Arrow at least has money.
He's just like a regular family man with super fighting powers.
He's just a guy that's really good. He's got that point. So yeah, Hawkeye's got a family. Ant-Man has a daughter he wants to protect. And he's also kind of, to me, he's also only kind of there because Falcon like swoops him up in Ant-Man, and he's all like, Ant-Man's like, I love you guys. You guys are famous. Oh my god, I get to fight with the heroes. Blah blah blah. It's so awesome. And Scarlet Witch is also on Cap's side. Not sure why, but that's just where she seemed to land.
Don't forget Quicksilver. You mentioned him already.
Quicksilver's dead.
Yeah, no,
for our purposes. So,
he was also there, but
yeah,
he died.
He's dead because he's an X-Men character, and he's not legally allowed to be in these movies.
And the X-Men one was better.
Yeah, so let's, I just prefer, even though that actor who played Quicksilver in these movies, I love, but he doesn't exist to me. And on Tony's side, we have Vision, of course. He basically created Vision. Vision is kind of a piece of Jarvis. Yeah. So it would make sense that
I would say he's like the soul of Jarvis.
Yeah, he basically thinks like Tony does. Yeah. Logically, he tries to. Black Widow, which and
Super Spy.
Yeah, War Machine. Of course, Tony made War Machine. Of course, he's gonna, and then poor War Machine got crippled.
Yeah.
So he's really on Tony's side.
Yeah.
Black Panther. I could see. I mean, he's another
Cap, right?
Well, at least from what I read, Black Panther was on Tony's side.
Okay.
And Tony, what I was just gonna say, that another reason he might be on Tony's side is probably because he doesn't need to really hide his identity. Like his people know who he is.
Yeah, he's a king.
So of course he would be up for registration. And then Spidey, we already mentioned, because he's basically Tony's mentee in this world.
Yep.
And then, so there you have our divides. One interesting thing I want to point out in these divides are, we see a blooming romance between Vision and Scarlet Witch. Obviously because Scarlet Witch feels alone in her power capabilities, because she's crazy strong, and then she lost her brother.
Yep. And
Vision is also new to this world and trying to understand how people think and all that kind of stuff. So there we see them pairing up a little bit, but they were in opposite beliefs for Civil War. So to me, that's just one interesting tension that they're setting up, because everybody's got to come together to fight Thanos, or we're not gonna make it.
Right.
So that's just the field we're looking at right now. So we're basically in the Infinity War. We're in the aftermath of this, because that's the last big crisis that really happened.
The aftermath of the Civil War.
Yeah, the whole group of heroes.
Yeah. So there's some kind of a divide here, and some tension in some places that may come into play. Well, I'm positive it'll come into play at some point, because these heroes have to reunite and get past their differences.
Yeah.
But yeah, should I talk about basically where everybody is? As of the end of Civil War?
Where everybody is in what respect?
So like, for example, Cap is hiding out in Wakanda, Hawkeye's with his family, Ant-Man's with his family.
Okay, let's try to do this in a mixture, because the next thing that I had looked at is, like, we started just briefly talking about known tensions. Right. And when I was going through doing some research for this, I found some stuff. There's some stuff they pointed out that I forgot, and some stuff that I found really interesting. So, of course, along with Scarlet and Vision for romance, we have Black Widow and Hulk.
It's
kind of just left floating. Like, Hulk just was like, deuces, I can't deal with this.
I don't even know why that romance is there, honestly.
It's weird.
For Hulk, like, is it to give Hulk a human side while he's the Hulk?
I mean, I think it's just to show that, like, we see the monster, or the people see the monster, but these people around him
see the
human that's trying to come out, or the human that's fighting back.
Right.
So that we don't know. I don't know if this is gonna play into anything at all, but we just know that Widow is like, I can't really find him, so I can't really do anything, and Hulk is just like, I can't deal with being this dual personality.
Right.
And then Tony and Cap. We know from the setup, we already know what their issues are against each other.
I will say though, even though they have issues, Cap did say at the end of the movie, "If you ever need me, you know where."
True, but that's what you expect Cap to do.
Yeah, for sure.
And then on top of, just to add another step to this ladder, we got Tony and Cap. Then we got Tony and Bucky, which I forgot about because I forgot that the movie set up that Bucky killed Tony's parents.
They worse off than Tony and Cap.
And we both know that we can all see from the movies because they flash back a lot. Yeah. Tony has big issues, big unresolved issues grudge with his dad.
No, that too, yeah.
So it's like the fact that he wasn't able to ever resolve his issues with his dad, and now he knows the person that ended that relationship.
Yeah.
It's a weird triangle because I feel like Cap and Bucky are coming back together, but
for sure.
Then we have, if Cap and Tony are trying to come back together, then that Bucky is a big wedge.
Yeah.
So it'll be I'll let you go ahead and mention, because Bucky is someone we haven't seen recently. So do you want to talk a little bit about where Bucky is?
So we see at the end of Black Panther that Bucky is actually in Wakanda. And Bucky is in Wakanda because they took him basically as refuge because Cap, they're refugees. So they're...
You guys, come here real quick. Is Bucky White Wolf? Is Bucky White Wolf?
I believe.
Is that a thing?
I believe so.
I'm just curious.
I believe he is. But yeah, Bucky.
I don't want to say that too loud. Go ahead.
Bucky's in Wakanda. Did he? I wasn't sure from the scene. Did he lose his memory, or does he know?
He didn't.
Civil War.
He didn't seem like he was memory loss. He seemed like he wasn't.
Seemed off about him.
He seemed like he wasn't sure what moves he was going to make.
I know it came back to me. So he went to Wakanda because they told Cap that they could deprogram the Hydra brainwashing from him. So that's why Bucky was all like he is acting like he was a refreshed person in Wakanda. So presumably Bucky's there and he's been cured. He's not brainwashed anymore. He's back to normal Bucky.
So that would make sense because it kind of looked like he's like readjusting. Like he's like, it's like half of him remembers everything that bad Bucky did, and he's like, how do I waking
up for the first time from a bad dream or something?
It's like when Banner's inside Hulk and he's like, where have I been? He's like, what's happening? I just got back.
Exactly. And when we see him, he's also armless because Iron Man smashed his arm with Cap's shield. So I'm assuming since he's in Wakanda, he's just going to get another vibranium arm. So that won't be a problem. We know Bucky had the same super soldier serum as Captain. So he's definitely, I feel like, going to be a powerful player in Infinity War, either part 1 or part 2. And kind of a side thing, I'll just talk about it now, but I feel like if Cap were to die in either one of these Infinity War movies, I feel like Bucky is going to be the one to take up the shield.
Oof.
I think that's going to happen. Honestly. I just, something about me, like, he has the same physical makeup as Captain already.
Yeah, but he's not.
He comes from the same exact time period, same exact state of mind. They're best friends.
I get what you're saying, but there's something there. There's something so much that's like, when you could see, like, back when they would do the throwbacks to Cap, when, like, right around the time he was becoming Captain America.
Yeah.
You could see where, like, this Bucky is all there for Cap.
Yeah.
But that's because Cap is so easy to stand, like, it's easy to stand beside him and like represent.
Because he's righteous.
Because it's like it's something about Bucky is I feel like Bucky's the best right arm you could ever have.
Don't get me wrong, I don't think he's gonna be the same Cap. Like,
no, I know what you're saying. I just don't think
he's gonna be a different, like, edgier. Like,
I feel like Spidey would fill that void before Bucky.
You think Spidey would?
Yeah,
really?
For sure.
I could see that too.
I could see him stepping up because just to lead in the same moral aspect that Cap did. Because Cap was good at, like, putting aside all the snarky and like really remembering what we're doing this for. Because I mean, he had lost the most out of everybody. He was a man out. Like, he lost his
entire world. Yeah,
everything he knew. So for someone, it was easy for everybody to look at him and go, well, if he can still do it, then we have to do it.
Exactly.
So that's the only reason I say that. Bucky is like, I love Bucky to death. Like, I'm really interested in seeing this new character, but I'm just like, he's definitely just gonna be like a dude in the background. To me, anyway.
He's not gonna have too many words.
Like, he'll have everything they need. He'll do what you need him to do, but he'll kind of just fall back a little bit.
I like Bucky, man.
I like Bucky too.
I want him to get a star role.
I do too. I agree.
But yeah, So yeah, that's basically where Bucky's at. Cap's also in Wakanda. But Cap is, as far as I know, Cap joined forces with Scarlet. Sorry, not Scarlet. Black Widow. And who else did he? Black Widow and I believe Falcon? I might be wrong in this. Black Widow and Falcon, they've been doing covert ops in this 2 year time span in between Civil War and Infinity War. So yeah, they're off doing their own side avenging until the team comes back together. Hulk, do we know where Hulk is?
Hulk is probably with Thor, I'm assuming.
Okay, yeah, on the ship, right?
Yeah,
they're still on the ship. We know where they are, so
I'm assuming they're still like Banner's trying to get his brain back from being Hulk for however long he was, and I think he's just they need to bring him back into the fold because he kind of pulled himself distant out. Yeah, and I think Thor is probably the best person to do that.
Yeah, so we know Thor, Loki, and we're gonna say Hulk, and I believe it's just them. They're all floating in space with the Asgardians, and they just came across Thanos' ship. So they're definitely, I feel like, going to be the first interaction with Thanos in the movie. It might even open with Thanos just messing them up, taking the Tesseract from Loki. Loki might betray them. I feel like Loki's going to betray them most definitely and give him the Tesseract. Like, here, I brought this for you. I'm sorry I failed in Avengers.
I mean, he just did it in Ragnarok. He walked when Thor was instantly a prisoner. Loki's like sitting in the stands of the tournament planet they were on, and he's like schmoozing with the people.
Exactly.
And he's like, "Shut up! I'm not your brother here."
Exactly.
So yeah, I mean,
Loki
look,
the trickster.
I love this kid over here. This my little brother, Death. So I'm like, I don't understand Loki like at all, but I'm like, we can always count on him to like Frieza his way in and out.
Trickster
of the situation.
God, right? Like that's his nature. He was born to do.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
because my question is, and this is way off topic, but my question is, we know that he was an ice giant child, and that Odin picked him up. So is he technically a god, or did he become a god by becoming? No,
he's an adopted god.
Son?
Yeah.
So you don't gotta be a trickster asshole to your only like living relative, because your other only living relative, Hela, because we didn't see her die on screen.
Oh yeah,
that's wants to kill you.
That's a very good point.
So you should be nice to the brother that doesn't want to kill you.
That's a very good point. But yeah, Loki, trickster god, he's definitely gonna betray everybody again. But on top of that betrayal, I think this might be the time that it backfires on him.
Yeah,
I feel like Thanos might make an example out of him right there on the spot.
But he's not, and Loki is either sweating in a crowd, like hiding, or he's in handcuffs, trying to figure out how to get out of said handcuffs.
Exactly.
So yeah, we'll see if he, ingratiates himself or makes himself needy, or where he puts himself in a position where Thanos would need him.
Right.
For whatever
Thanos don't
reason.
Need nobody. Thanos is gonna rip the Tesseract out of his hand, make an example of him on the spot in front of Thor. Thor's gonna get mad. Thor's probably gonna get beat down too.
Will Thor get mad?
I think Thor still loves Loki, even though. Like,
of course he wouldn't. Because
the good in his heart, he's gonna be like.
He wouldn't tell that snake story so lovingly if he didn't love his brother. Every time, man.
He always gives him the benefit of the doubt.
So that was another. So we talked about that a little bit. That was another point I had, was that Thor and Loki's it's not unresolved, but they definitely have a back and forth.
Constantly.
They do this dance.
And
somebody always ends up hurt on the dance floor afterwards.
I think they wouldn't be Thor and Loki if Loki didn't just turn on him every day.
Yeah, I agree. if they weren't always giving each other side eye.
Yeah.
And then while we keep moving on, there's one special conflict here that I'm saving towards the end, but I just also want to mention, we talked about Tony and Peter. Peter is Tony's kind of new mentor right now, and we saw in Homecoming that Peter turned down the super suit because he felt like he wasn't ready yet. But then he's in it in the previews, so we see him in it in the previews in Infinity War.
Right.
So
he's gonna need that suit for sure.
A little bit of me, just diving into the mentality of the characters. A little bit of me is thinking, what is is Spidey just gonna put on the Ultra suit, the Iron Spidey suit? I'm just gonna call it that for this.
Well, 2 years have passed too, so you assume he's been doing Spider-Man things.
True,
for this
but
whole 2 years.
yeah. So part of me is like, I just want to see what is his mental growth. Like, what is he gonna put it in at? Like, I got to do this. Like, I have to put this suit on, or
I think he's eager. I think he wants to.
Yeah, and see, that's what I want to see if he grew out of it. I want to see if he grew out of like, I'm strong too, you guys. Yeah. I can fight. Hey,
I don't think so.
Hey, put me in, coach. Yeah. Like that's what it sounds like to me all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I kind of want to see him not prove himself, because I know that his heart is in the right place, but I want to know that he's ready. I don't want him jumping. Like, I know Tony won't throw him where he's not ready.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't want him like using this situation as a way to prove himself to Tony.
Right.
That's what I'm worried about. I'm worried that Spidey's gonna be like, I need to do this to show them that I've grown up. And it's like, no, you don't, bro. Don't get murdered. Don't get murdered to prove something to someone. Because you almost died under those beams.
Yeah.
That concrete, and I got really scared.
See, my thing with that, I feel like we're gonna see that growth in the movie. So I feel like, cause like they don't really know that Thanos is right there, right? Like they don't know he's like, all right, I'm handling this myself now. I'm coming, and like they don't know that Thanos is like 10 times more powerful than this army of like little ants that he sent after them before.
And you say Peter doesn't know.
Yeah,
Peter does not know the galactic.
I mean,
scale.
Anybody. I don't think anybody knows how strong Thanos is.
I know what you're saying. I'm just thinking in the sense that, like, the Avengers, everyone in the Avengers has taken on these global threats, whereas Spidey is
your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yeah, he's down the street. And same thing with Ant-Man, but it's like, even Ant-Man is an adult.
Exactly.
And he's seen, like, even when, like, Ant-Man had a little bit of this when he was, like, in his molecule universe, and it looked like he wasn't going to be able to he was just going to be stuck there.
Yeah.
He had this engulfing problem that was just bigger than him and bigger than he could ever imagine.
Right.
Whereas, like Spidey's issues were small.
They're so small scale.
They're so small. So it's just, the scale of this for him is what's terrifying to think of.
So it's like, in my mind, Spidey's been fighting these normal criminals for the past 2 years. Then all of a sudden, galactic warlord Thanos comes out of nowhere, and Spidey's like, I can take him. And then he goes in there and he probably gets beat down.
I don't know, you say I can take him. Like, I feel like this mofo should be down, like, in his bedroom like everybody else.
Yeah.
Like, he should be like peeking out the blinds, like
yeah. Like, they don't know what they're in for. But yeah, I feel like we're gonna see that growth. I feel like we're gonna see him get beat down. He's gonna have some type of deep conversation with Tony. He's gonna have that kind of like, I gotta step up and be more considerate about like the bigger scale of things now. And yeah, so I don't know if it's gonna be in part 1 or part 2, but I feel like we're gonna see that growth over the course of this. And I feel like part 1's gonna cliffhang us like super hard.
Oh yeah, we know, and that's like, that's one of the benefits of this, is like, we're going into a part 1.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's definitely gonna be a setup. The whole movie's gonna be a setup for the final half and climax of the action. So
even though they've actually dropped the part 1 from the title, haven't they? From like marketing.
Probably. But we know.
So, yeah.
We know. It's not gonna be a 4-hour Infinity
War. No.
They wouldn't do it right like that.
Definitely not.
And then before, okay, so I have one more point, but I want to see if you want to have any other points about where people are right now.
Oh, so I just want to say, so Doctor Strange is in, we last saw him in Camartage. Camartage. So he's still there. Like I said, if Thanos comes across him, I feel like that might be one of the last stones he gets, just because of how magic works and stuff. Like, he can teleport all around. He has the means to protect that stone more so than the other people do.
He could also be the Paul Revere of the universe.
What do you mean?
Like the British are coming.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he could be zipping around telling everyone like
he's coming.
He's coming.
Yeah. But yeah, that's where he's at. The Guardians, we just see them. They're kind of happily ever after, floating in space. Like, they don't know what's about to hit them.
Well, Gamora knows. I think Gamora knows a little.
Gamora knows.
Or at least Nebula it's knows. On her mind.
Yeah, Nebula knows. But yeah, that's basically the gist of where all the major people are at. Hawkeye and Ant-Man are with their family, and of course Black Panther's in Wakanda. So that's pretty much.
Yeah, I think that's about it. I think that covers most of everybody that we know so far.
Of where they are.
Yeah, characters that we've met anyway. And I started hinting towards this a little bit, but Gamora with the Guardians, of course.
Yeah.
The Guardians are like our new entity that's meeting, like they're being brought into the fold.
Right.
Because
they haven't met anybody in the Avengers yet.
Right. They've been like our team on, like, we've been watching them have their other adventures. So, Thanos.
Wait, one thing though. It's so weird that the Guardians of the Galaxy are so close to Earth yet. And all this other stuff has happened on Earth, yet they haven't been involved in any of this.
Because it's like, you have to think, like, they want us to think that they're nowhere near Earth.
Yeah.
Like, they're close to Earth. He's from Earth, but he was kidnapped by Ravagers who they're just nomads. They just go wherever. So it's like they probably picked him up and just went halfway somewhere else.
Galaxy.
And it's like Peter, Earth isn't home. So it makes sense that they wouldn't go back there.
Yeah.
Or at least not be like hovering around it.
Exactly.
But Gamora is Thanos' adopted daughter.
Same with Nebula.
Yeah, we've seen her and Nebula. Like, that's usually the center of their fight, is whatever they're fighting over, things that they used to have to do for him and how he pitted them against each other. So Thanos or Gamora and Nebula were, the last time we saw them, they of course were arguing as always, but they seem to at least agree on the fact, or I should say that Gamora kind of saved Nebula's life, and Nebula being, even though she super hates her sister, she also respects, like, she at least respects the fact that her sister cared enough not to murder her or let her die.
Right.
And they did care about each other in the sense that they went through something horrible together, so they have this bond. Mm-hmm. So we're left with Gamora and Nebula agreeing to disagree on how they would go about killing Thanos. Nebula, of course, wants to do it on her own. She's being super Vegeta about it. She's being super Vegeta, and Gamora is just,
she should really know what she's up against. That's her dad.
Yeah, Nebula is hot-headed, so she's like, no, I'm gonna do this on my own. Whereas Gamora is like, we need to be smart if we're going to take him down. But she definitely, like, that. Every time you start saying her fish just so I feel like Gamora is gonna be
dead. I'm gonna just say it.
I'm saying she's gonna be like super highlighted because she's like our link to Thanos prior to everything that's happening. We don't really know out, like, I have a mental picture, but we don't really know what their relationship was like. We're assuming, we're supposed to think that Thanos just had these two daughters to be like basically like
servants almost.
Yeah, like all powerful assassin warriors that he had personally hand raised, but they're badass fighters.
He probably murdered their family before he ripped them away from them as children.
Yeah, I'm thinking like they were like infant and don't even know their families at all. Like all they know is his maliciousness.
Exactly.
So I think that is going to play. I don't think Gamora has any residual feelings for Thanos, like any kind of like father-daughter bond. I don't think that's going to be an issue, but I think we're just going to delve into like the group being like, well, what do you know? What can you tell us? You know, and she usually is like, all guns, let's go, let's do this, but
she's smart though too. Like,
yes,
she knows,
and that's what I'm saying. She's smart, and so you can see like when they go to her in the trailers and stuff, you can see that she's kind of like, no, we need to, we need to think about this. This might not turn out as well. This might not be something we can just willpower our way through. So that's going to be an interesting play, and I'm really interested in seeing how that melds in with the rest of the group, because we see in the trailer, we see Thor being like, who the hell are you guys? And the Guardians are all just standing there like, so
it's 5 of them.
Yeah, we got to get through that whole like weird introduction process. So
they're like a whole Avengers squad on their own.
Yeah. So we'll see where that goes and who talks to who. It'll be, and Teenage Groot is gonna be awesome. So
I can't wait to see the dynamic between like Star-Lord, Iron Man, Doctor
Strange. Do we
Peter
get a taste
Parker.
of that? We have to put this. We have to put that in there because there is a scene I saw where Tony, Peter. I gotta stop calling Peter Quill. I always want to call him Peter Quill because it's a cool name.
Think of Peter Parker.
Tony, Star-Lord, and I think one other, like, it might be Spidey.
Okay.
But they're like standing in like a triangle and like Star-Lord is telling Tony, he's like, yeah, so we'll listen to that, but we're gonna do my plan. So I think that's gonna be where the majority of my entertainment comes from. Is seeing like Stark and Peter Quill, Star-Lord, and who's our other? We have another fast talker.
Did you say Strange?
Strange, yeah, but Strange can also be like,
he's like cynical.
He's very like reserved. I don't think he's at his like smart talking sass cat.
I would say Hawkeye's kind of there.
Yeah, but we don't know if he's gonna be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he can kind of cut you down too.
Yeah.
But he's like, he's like Strange. He's quieter about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got all our teams coming in. Loki. So we gotta get to the point where our Avengers trust our Guardians, and we all become a collective.
Let's also point out the fact that this is like 30 people who now, like, all different personalities who now have to find a way to work together against this greater evil. That's going to be probably the biggest challenge for any of them, is just working with these 30 other super powered humans who all have like a different idea about how things are supposed to work.
And it's very like, we're talking a lot about the interactions, but like it's very important, like, and especially in a team dynamic, for people to somewhat understand each other and get along.
Most
because
definitely.
it's on a battlefield when you're making split-second decisions that could leave your friend like buried in the ground or alive. You just gotta consider all these things. So exactly. That's why we're talking about this for this period of time, because to me it could be the relationship between Black Widow and Tony, because they had a little bit of a thing at the beginning of
I forgot about that.
Iron Man 2.
I forgot about that.
They had a general, like, they didn't like each other first, then they had a general understanding, and it's like now you could just see they're cool. They can talk to each other. Yeah, so it's like, to me, that's the difference between somebody living or dying, is that split-second decision of knowing that person already and being comfortable with what they fight for and all that kind of stuff. Right. So having us come right off of Civil War puts us in a weird like place of like, okay, like, you were fighting me over my personal beliefs, but now I'm going to defend the world like back to back with you. Exactly. But then after this, what happens to us? Do we go back? Yeah. So,
but we would hope that the world saving would take precedence over any little issues that these heroes have, with each other.
I would think so. I mean, that's why we love them, is like they eventually get over their tiny bullshit and they pull it together.
Especially when Tony sees Thanos like grip his head in his Iron Man suit and like slam him into the ground, or whatever he did in the trailer. He was destroying.
Yeah, but that's like that one scene
barehanded.
That's like that one scene in Civil War when it's like, isn't somebody just holding Tony and just rocking him into the ground?
Yeah.
Was it? I think it was Bucky and Cap. I think Cap was like holding
the battle where it was 3 of them.
Yeah, I think
Iron Man was on his knees, and then Cap would like catch him with the right hook. Bucky would like catch him with the left hook. Cap would throw the shield at him.
That scene just rocks you.
That was
like,
a powerful scene.
That has to be put in there. But that just like rocks me like every time. So it's like, it's too much.
So we're gonna see. So now you just wanted overall predictions on?
Yeah, I mean,
just go all over the place.
Just go, like, I'm not gonna go through all the characters because there's so freaking many at this point. I can't remember them all.
Just the ones that stick out to you.
Yeah, so I'll let you go first.
So I'm gonna say right off the bat, Vision's gonna die. Loki's probably gonna die. Nebula's definitely gonna die. For part 1, those are the main ones I think are gonna die, and the ones that I think have a less chance of dying, maybe Iron Man or Cap. And so Nebula, I think she's gonna die because she's gonna try and take on her father alone, and Gamora and the rest of them are gonna be there, but I feel like it's gonna be one of those situations where like they get there like a tad too late, and like Thanos is already like choke holding Nebula or something, and then
she'll be like, I was wrong, save yourself.
Yeah, and Gamora has to like watch as he murders his sister, and then that's even more reason for her to be mad at him. Loki, might die at the beginning of the movie. He's gonna try and kiss up and be like, "I brought you the Tesseract, sir. I didn't fail before. It just took me a little longer." And then Thanos is gonna rip that out of his hand and he'll be like, "This is what happens when you fail me, crush." You know, gonna murder Loki in front of Thor, and that's gonna be part of Thor's motivation against Thanos. And then who else did I say? I said, oh yeah, I forgot Hawkeye. If Hawkeye is in this movie, I feel like he might die just because he's such a meme at this point.
I feel like if he was, he would be like, if he didn't die, he'd be in a coma.
Yeah, like
by the end.
I feel like Hawkeye can't keep being an Avenger. Like, he has to either retire for good and just stop showing up in the movies, or because he's just a meme at this point. Like, he's just known as that useless character.
I'm sorry, I keep thinking of that one video where they're like, he's just a human.
Yeah, he is.
He's just a human.
Literally just a guy with a bow. Now if they gave him that super serum, you know, we might be talking. Then he'd be a super strong guy with a bow.
Can't do that to Hawkeye.
Oh yeah. That. Did I say Vision?
Yes, you said Vision's
getting the stone ripped out of his cold dead forehead.
Yeah. I feel like Vision's just gonna get like beat to the point where he can't fight, and then like you said, I don't think he's gonna die just yet, but I think he's definitely getting the stone ripped out of his head at some point,
his forehead, because
that's cinema porn. Like, they can't avoid that scene.
And then if he's alive after that happens, what does him not having the stone imply?
He becomes
is he just powerless?
Jarvis in a body,
basically.
And Jarvis was pretty human. He's like a human butler. So it's like, I think if you rip the Mind Stone out of Vision, maybe he forgets about
you gotta stop calling him Vision.
I don't say he won't forget about Scarlet Witch, but maybe he loses his whatever love he had for her.
I forgot about that too. Yeah.
No one cares. That's fine.
No one cares. So yeah, that's
spoiler: Scarlet Witch is Magneto's sister, for those who didn't know. So this is even more confusing and weird.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
No, wait, not sister. I'm sorry, daughter.
Daughter. Okay.
Daughter.
Okay, that's on.
Which makes sense because we knew from X-Men that Quicksilver was his son. Yeah. So
get Magneto up in here, and all this vibranium nonsense is out.
The X-Men are. Where are the X-Men?
In
the X-Men
the Fox universe.
They're all like sitting in a bunker going la 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 la. You don't have the rights to be in this movie.
They're locked up in the institution, which is like barred off from the rest of society.
Let's just, for the humor of the scenario, say that this Avengers storyline of Infinity Wars takes place during Logan.
Okay.
That's why they can't help, because they're not there.
My God.
They're all like either murdered or hiding in holes in the desert, so they can't help.
Comic books, man. It all works out. See, they knew what they were doing when they started this. They knew, we make comic book movies, nothing has to make sense.
But I mean, in Marvel, okay, we're drifting, but Marvel does this thing like that. I appreciate it because I love alternate dimensions, but Marvel literally numbers their universes. So you've got Earth 616, you've got like Earth 3639. Oh, I know. So they literally jump, and they'll just be like,
it's a multiverse.
Yeah, they're like on Earth 312, and you're like, okay, so these aren't our characters, but they're doppelgangers. They look exactly like our characters.
Yeah. Literally, the Marvel universe is made up of a sentient being that inside of its body there are a bunch of different universes, but they're all parallel. So that's literally how they explain what the universe is.
It's just freedom for the writers to me.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
They can't look. All right.
But I ain't
another video. We will have a DC video one day. Yeah. One day I will represent the heroes that my heart bleeds for. I mean, I love Marvel to death.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's just like clown school over here. Like the difference. It's like the difference between like playing like, I don't know, like Risk, like DC is like Risk, and then Marvel's like freaking like Candyland. Like it's like
anything goes.
Like it's like my brain. But anyway, so crap.
Your predictions.
General predictions. Oh, okay. So Vision, we left off on Vision, and so Vision's getting his pulled out of his head. Because Because who else did you say you thought was gonna? Oh, Cap.
Vision, Nebula, Cap, possibly.
Now,
but that's mostly just because I want Bucky to take over.
This guy wants Bucky to shine so bad. He wants Cap
Bucky's
to take a bullet to the head.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Cap's too nice.
Okay, so outside of, if we're gonna, I want to I want to contain this to the films, but there's a lot of rumors going around, a lot of information coming out that Cap or Chris Evans' contract is running out.
That's the other reason.
So it's like a lot of people are speculating based off that. I don't want to speculate based off that. I want to say that, yeah, this would be, if this movie is going to be the pivotal point for this series and all these arcs, then it would make sense to me for something really bad to happen.
Like a transition almost, right?
Yeah,
like,
because you've always had these two, you've always had Cap and Tony playing
either
off
Cap
each
or
other.
Iron Man, one of the two.
Yeah, and it's like, they've always, like, especially with Iron Man kind of being our not tombstone, but he's like our keystone.
He's like the foundation where it all started.
Yeah,
basically.
he's like our keystone to the story. So it's like the fact, like, it would be weird to have him not have someone to play off of, right? Because Banner could keep Tony in check, but then Banner's got his own stuff going on. He can't focus on his stuff and Tony's stuff. So Cap
especially not when he's Hulk.
Yeah, Tony's really smart. He's really driven, but he has the bad ability. Yeah, he's arrogant, but he's pulled that in a little bit, but he gets stuck in here. Yeah. He can be very introverted, and then he gets stuck in here, and Cap pulls him out.
Yeah.
So I could see them taking Cap away in that aspect, because like it would really set up a tone going forward. It would set up a very different tone going forward. I don't want to definitively say that I think Cap is going to die, because I want them to try and surprise me.
Not definitive at all.
Yeah, but like they've literally just been giving Tony panic attacks.
Exactly.
Like he's been having panic attacks since Iron Man 3, and he's been having another point that I wrote down, I didn't really know where to fit it, was that Tony and Thor have had these prophetic visions of catastrophe and total devastation.
Right.
And so they show it happening to Tony, and it's like we can assume that because they're on Earth and we know everything bad always comes to Earth for destruction. But when you put Thor into the equation, Thor's realms are out, they include Earth, but they're also outside of Earth. So that's kind of showing us that this problem is not just affecting humans and Earthlings.
Right. It's everything.
We're at the center point because all the gems keep getting drawn to our planet, but
if he gets these 5 gems, he basically has reign over everything.
It's going to affect everybody. Yeah. So I'm like, I think I'm struggling with this a bit, because I'm like, I don't want to say that anyone's going to die, but I think Vision would definitely be a great setup going into part 2 of Infinity War if Vision was out of the game. And then I think I could see them killing War Machine.
I could definitely see them killing him. But the only reason I couldn't see them killing War Machine is because when they thought he was dead in was that Civil War? Yeah. When they thought he was dead, it was such a huge thing, and like,
and that's what I'm saying. Like,
back just to rip him back.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like he was crippled. He's supposed to be up and moving now, but then I'm like, that would be, because the last Iron Man made it seem like we're gonna pull out of Tony's personal life a little bit. So I don't know if we're gonna have many Iron Mans going forward.
That's why, because Tony, to me, he has the most. He has most of the personal struggles, like, within himself. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Even more than Hulk, because Hulk is kind of like a different person from Bruce Banner, so it's like 2 characters. But Tony is like, and that's why I think he could even possibly die, because he's always had such like inner turmoil that he could have this crazy like come to terms sacrificial moment where he's like, this is when I'm not gonna be selfish. This is when, you know what I mean? And he's been a character for such a long time that, like, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's just that time.
Yeah, and that's why I'm like, I could see that, because that would be, I think that would put him, it's either War Machine or Pepper. Something happening to them is going to put him at his breaking point. Right. So,
and he's the most likely to have that breaking point.
Yeah, because he does. I mean, he makes rash decisions, but even his rash decisions, he's
have thought behind them.
And it's funny because it's like he might not even be the one doing the thought; he's throwing it up to Jarvis. Mm-hmm. So it's like even his rash decisions have some type of calculation behind them. Right. So that's why I'm like, this is something that maybe they throw out and they say you can't predict for this, you can't calculate for this, you have to act.
Right.
And so if you kill Cap, that will put him in some sort of way. You take out War Machine, that will put him in some sort of way. I feel like I don't know if I'm saying this because of what you said earlier, but I'm like, I don't know if I feel like Bucky's gonna make it.
Really?
At least not, like, I don't know if he's gonna make it clean. And when I say that, I mean, like, does he... Yes, he's coming back to himself. They're setting him up to come back to himself.
He's getting a haircut.
Yeah, but it's like... he can't. That's the best part. But it's like, does he... I guess what I'm saying is, like, does he grow from this, or does he...
I think he does.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you saying taking up some sort of mantle in Cap's place, but it's like, there's nothing there. They'd have to put all of that in this movie.
You mean there's nothing where
like
Bucky
we
is?
have no relationship with Bucky.
Yeah,
we have
true.
Cap's relationship with Bucky. So once Cap is gone, we don't see Bucky through Cap's eyes anymore.
But did we have a relationship with Cap before he was Cap? You know what I mean? Like we know. Okay, so we didn't know Cap before Cap, right? But we know Bucky.
We did know Cap before Cap, slightly. We saw him in training.
I mean, in like a different movie or anything.
Yeah.
Like Bucky, we've known Bucky for a long time.
We've known Bucky for a long time through Cap's eyes.
Right.
Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But we don't know Bucky without Cap.
Right, definitely. But that's where I think the potential is to like kind of make him into like, I guess whatever character type of character they want him to be, but we still have that kind of point of reference for who this person is. It's not just like a new character. It's like, okay, if he steps into Cap's shoes, it's like, okay, this isn't so bad, you know. Some of us already like Bucky, so why not keep him around? You know what I mean? Like that type of thing. And like
this is like a smaller character, but I'm like, I think, I don't know, maybe some of those tribal leaders we saw in Wakanda, they were highlighted. I know there was one guy that was like super highlighted out of the Wakanda tribal leaders.
Oh, I know, yeah. Oh,
the Get Out guy.
Oh no, you're talking about I know you're talking. I forget his name.
The guy who was the controller of the rhinoceroses.
Yeah, rhinoceros.
But he, I feel like there might be some deaths there that hit Panther close to heart, because now you saw at the end of Panther, they opened it up like Wakanda is coming out, so to speak. So, not only opening themselves up to make the world a better place, but they're also like, one of the reasons you don't want to open up is because you don't want to let the bad stuff get in. You don't want to open everybody else up to vulnerability. So I'm curious to see something happen there, because Black Panther lost his father, but he lost his father prior to the movie, his personal movie, but he hasn't really lost anything. Because it's like, you always at some spot in your mind, you know your dad's going to die. Your parents are older than you. And then him on top of that being a king and a political figure always kind of put him in some sort of danger.
And his dad like kind of passed the throne. Passed the mantle to him. So it's like he's come to terms with that.
Yeah, he did get some closure on the astral plane. Yeah. So my thing is like, what's up for stakes for Black Panther is his country. His country is going to be ravaged. His people.
Ravaged completely.
Because we've already kind of seen everybody bleed a little bit, and then I'm like, I can't. This is hurting me. Like, this is probably because I told YoTizzler yesterday. I said I'm gonna take a minute before I write these predictions down. I didn't write no predictions down, y'all. This is hurting me to think about somebody being gone. Yeah. Because they're always adding people, but and then when they take people away, it's usually people you're not really attached to.
But
it's
one
like
of these big guys gotta go at some point.
Yeah, and it's like for a minute, like even Heimdall.
Yeah, Heimdall.
Even Heimdall, like when there was a moment where you think he's dead,
like,
and I was like,
where is he? Because Heimdall is cool. Like,
yeah, I'm like crying because I'm like, I was like, he's not. Nobody was really strong though. Cool. No, there's a chance. So I'm struggling with this, and like my heart, like I talked about Spidey really hard because I'm like really worried that something's gonna happen to Spidey.
Spidey's fine.
But Spidey is the one character where there's like 14 Spideys. And it's like everyone knows them by name, and like, cause then like now you got. You
talking like Miles Morales?
Yeah, you got Miles Morales. You got Radioactive, Spider-Gwen. Yeah. You got all these iterations of Spidey, so that kind of makes me scared, a little bit. But only other thing that's what I was talking about. The reason I got that anxiety is because I'm like, I don't want to think about any of the Guardians dying. Because I could totally see Drax dying.
I could see Drax dying. Like I said, I could see Gamora dying. Because there's so many of them. And like we already know Star-Lord is like the main one. Like,
God, if you take Rocket from me, I will
Rocket,
never
Rocket can't die.
I'll never.
Rocket can't die. I would be highly
that heartbreak that that him and Groot went through. I can't.
Yeah.
Did you see Rocket's face when Groot exploded? No,
yeah.
I can't.
We know Groot's not.
My heart hurts.
We know Groot's not gonna die at least because he'll just be born again.
Well, he could be incinerated. There has to be a piece left to stick in the pot to grow back into Groot.
Jesus.
So it's like we don't want him to be completely obliterated. But yeah, I'll agree with you on Nebula. I could see that and not feel like bad about that prediction. So I'll definitely throw down Nebula into the going out of here.
Get out of here,
spot. Nebula. And then so yeah, I'll take Nebula. I'll take Drax. Spidey's hanging on the edge for me. He's hanging there by his web, but
Spidey's too good.
But that shit's malfunctioning, so he's like, no.
Look, this is the best Spider-Man that has been on the screen.
Will Ant-Man live?
Yeah, Ant-Man.
Do you think he'll just shrink down so tiny that no one sees him? He'll be like, I was there, guys. You just didn't see me.
That's the thing. Like, Ant-Man has a way out, right?
Like, he just goes on a
he can bounce if he really wants to.
He could be shrink down on a molecular level and like fuck with Thanos' body chemistry or something. Like, why can't this be an option?
That would actually make Ant-Man useful.
Stop. He is useful. He's so cool. Like,
he should die.
This is so funny because it's like neither of us had like any. Ant-Man just wasn't. He's out here, like not on our radar
I didn't even
at all.
want to watch the movie.
And I bring up to him like, I go see Ant-Man. I loved it. Thought it was hilarious. This guy hadn't seen it. I was like, you gotta watch it before we do this video. And it's like we came out like almost on complete opposites. Where he's like, I don't get it. He's useless. He's pointless. Like he doesn't do anything.
See, like you were, I thought he was Hank Pym before I watched the movie. I was like, okay, he's a genius, all that stuff. But then I'd see, no, it's just some criminal who,
But then but I came out of it going, wow, Ant-Man can do some stuff I didn't even think of. Like I didn't even think of applying.
Tony can make his own Ant-Man suit at any given time. Any given day.
I didn't think of applying the small, I didn't think of how they applied like him actually changing his size. So yeah, you keep saying that, but I'm like, part of me just thinks that like Tony couldn't handle all that. He couldn't handle it.
Making the suit or
being like in the suit? The part about the and forgive me, I know Hank Pym's name, but I don't know the other guy's name.
Lang. Steve Lang.
Was it Steve?
His last name's Lang. Okay, for sure.
So Lang they made like his special thing behind the suit is that he was a cat burglar, and he's thoughtful of others, even though he was technically a criminal. He's very thoughtful of others, and he ultimately wants to just be a good example for his daughter and not be a bad person. He's just trying to get by like everyone else. So I feel like Ant-Man being at his mental level, not being a Hank Pym, being a guy driven by his heart, I feel like I could see him sacrificing himself for somebody.
I could too.
Because they made a big deal about like in Ant-Man, and there could be modifications between now and then, but they made a big deal like he kind of like the suit's still kind of experimental, so he could get stuck either really tiny or really big. But I think that he could be like a sacrificial lamb for sure.
Yeah.
So
I think so. Is there anybody? Was there a woman he was with?
The Wasp. But I don't know if the Wasp is gonna be, because their movie is coming out later, so I don't know if they're gonna be, if she's gonna be featured.
That's the other thing. They have a movie plan, so he's definitely. But no, I was just asking because like if his daughter didn't have a mom, like if it was just him, then I would say that he wouldn't die. But
Ant and the Wasp could take place before this.
Oh, you think it would be Hank Pym and
No. I'm saying the like Ant-Man and the Wasp movie that's coming out timeline could take place prior to this.
Oh, Infinity War.
Yeah. It could be being released later, but take place prior to Infinity War.
That's true.
Because we don't know how much. So we know that at the end of Ant-Man, he meets the Falcon in Ant-Man, right? In the Ant-Man movie, Ant-Man meets Falcon.
Right. He fights.
So we know that that's like kind of their first interaction. So that's Ant-Man's first interaction really with the Avengers.
Right.
So then Ant-Man shows up in Civil War.
Right.
So some time has passed here.
Definitely.
So Ant-Man and Wasp could have taken place prior to Infinity War, which would open him up to dying.
Yeah.
That's all I want to say.
My only thing with that is just that they would have to really plan what they put in Infinity War, you know what I mean? So that this movie that they're making, because presumably they started making Infinity War like a while ago, started shooting it, all that. So I would think they started producing Infinity War before the sequel to Ant-Man. So they would have to be super careful. That was Kuma. That was the dog. They would have to be super careful about like making sure things line up.
Yeah, but I think that's totally easy for them.
Yeah,
because it's like they probably had like this movie Ant-Man and the Wasp probably got slightly written at the same time as Ant-Man.
Right.
So that's why I'm like, and Ant-Man was a contained story, except for when like what was that, like a 15-minute scene where he needed to break into the base that Falcon was protecting.
Yeah.
So that's why I think that they could easily have planned out this contained story of Ant-Man and the Wasp joining up prior to the story taking place in Infinity War.
That makes sense. Disclaimer, I don't know how any of this works. I ain't never directed
movie magic.
Yeah, I don't know how they do
So yeah, I'm like,
stuff,
Ant-Man and Wasp could have been filmed and done prior to like production in Infinity War. We don't know.
Definitely, yeah.
But I'm just saying that leaves it up to him dying.
I won't be mad if he dies. Get him out of here. Tell Iron Man to just.
I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm like, Ant-Man is cool as hell. Now I'm down. I'm in. Let's get real tiny under the wheel of a truck and then get real big and blow that shit up.
The wheel.
Yes, I'm in. He could get real.
Jeez.
The ability to just get big.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm scared for Thor.
Really?
I'm not scared for Loki because
Thor just had his moment.
Loki is a snake, so I can see him. He'll find a hole in the garden wall and get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
But Thor is too damn proud, and like you said, he just had his moment. So even more is he gonna want to prove himself, which is what terrifies me.
Yeah. But the fact that he just realized that he can use his powers without his hammer, I don't think they would get rid of him so quickly.
No, I don't think they'll get rid of him, but I feel like he's like in the same way I think Vision's gonna get hurt. I think that Thor is gonna. I could see him getting.
I think every one of these guys is gonna get beat to a pulp.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not saying anyone's gonna be like, well, that was good.
Yeah, no,
like or hold their own. I just think
down.
that like I feel like it's like to a point where he's not moving in the next movie.
I could see that. I could definitely see that happening.
But So yeah, I don't know if like some of our predictions are extending into what would be part 2, but for part 1,
we don't know.
Yeah, part 1, hardcore Nebula, hardcore Vision, hardcore. I won't say hardcore Ant-Man. I'm teetering on Ant-Man.
I say Loki is gonna die in the first 10 minutes of the movie.
I don't think he's gonna die. Like Thanos is not. Thanos will crush you. Thanos is cold,
right?
But he's not. He still is like a manipulator. He still is like, he sees value. Like my thing is like, he knows that Nebula and Gamora don't like him. Right. He could have killed them. He didn't.
Yeah, but they haven't failed him the way Loki failed him. Loki already betrayed him.
But wouldn't essentially them be plotting his murder, be failing him? They ran away. Like he used them. Gamora was essentially his assassin. Yeah. So when she ran away, that's complete disobedience.
That's true.
So that's why I'm like, if he's not gonna murder them, Loki's more willing to work for him than they are. Yeah. So that's why I'm like, I think he's not clean.
I just think Loki's been dancing on thin ice for a long time. No pun intended.
Yeah, because he's an ice.
But I feel like he's gotten away too many times. Like there's only so many times you can like mess with somebody and then get away with it. So I feel like it's just. Like your trick. We've all seen your tricks.
He's not, and that's the thing. Like he's not
backstab Thor.
He's not messing with Thanos either.
No, he's not.
He's been
I'm
like
just saying people in general.
Yeah. He's been like a tool, and then he's just a bad tool for Thanos. But I don't think he's never actively betrayed him either. Yeah. So that's why I'm like, I feel Nebula way stronger than I feel Loki.
Definitely, but yeah. that's pretty much all for my predictions. Was there anything else you wanted to add, or? Because I know we're running kind of long on time.
Yeah, we got a little rambling on this one, but
yeah, it's all
it was really hard to contain everything because, like, again, we said there's so many people, there's so much going on. I'm gonna keep saying hella because I live my life.
Didn't see her die.
I live my life through Game of Thrones rules. If I don't see a stake go through your heart and the blood run out of your body and your eyes go dead, and even then,
especially if you
might not be dead.
If you're the god of death,
yeah,
you know.
So like Hela,
or the goddess of death.
I want to see if Hela has any play in this, or she shows back up. So
she's evil enough.
Because we didn't see her die, but
yeah.
That's where we are.
That's pretty much it for our predictions. I hope it got y'all hyped for Infinity War coming out.
We want your comments. Tell us if we were wrong. Tell us what you're thinking about. Tell us if this kind of stuff is even interesting to you. Because
tell us if you're hyped.
Yeah, like, because I could totally. I mean, there's a bunch of movies I'm getting hyped for, but they don't have a lot up for stakes like this. But yeah, just let us know what you're thinking. Do you like where the film series is going? Anything like that. And I think we're definitely planning after we go see the movie, because we're gonna go see it for sure.
Yeah, we'll do something after.
We're definitely gonna come back and like talk about what we thought.
How we felt.
Yeah, and did this? Is this guy gonna lose his cap shield over this bet? Am I gonna smash the shield with this hammer?
Right.
So come on back. Let us know what you're thinking.
Yeah, like, subscribe, comment, do all that stuff. We will see y'all in the next video, and yeah, we out. Peace.
Deuce.